Hello everyone, I finally have answers for all of those what tokens and materials should I save, what guns should I save, how should I prepare for Forsaken questions that all of you have been asking, because Bungie finally put out the information on how at least the overwhelming majority of all of that is going to work. We're going to do info thoughts, but if you don't want to listen to all that, because this video is probably going to be really long, you can read all of it in the link in the description. Grab a drink or something, because we're going to be here a while. First up, weapons and mods. Starting on August 28th, current mods will be depreciated, and the game will say that it's okay to dismantle your mods for parts. The gunsmith will rotate his mods to the new ones when Forsaken launches. Now, what about elemental weapons? Well, starting on the 28th, the elements on your weapons will be locked to whatever you have in them when the 28th hits. So, you should figure out what elements you want your weapons to be before then and mod them accordingly, because after the 28th, you won't be able to because the mod slot is disappearing from those weapons. Note that the Ikelos shotgun and sniper will be defaulted to solar damage no matter what you do. It's just automatically going to go to solar. The following weapons will lose their elemental status because they're moving to the kinetic slot: Balagant, Shepherd's Watch, Hawthorne's shotgun, Alone as a God, Perfect Paradox, Frigid Jackal, and Silicon Neuroma. Thoughts on that? Seems pretty fine to me. Bungie said that the Ikelos weapons are being locked to solar in order to avoid everyone just stacking them with Tractor Cannon's debuff constantly, which is totally fair. As for what weapons you should make Arc Solar Void, I don't have any specific recommendations unless you really want to have a full Void kit for Tractor Cannon shenaniganery. We don't know what's going to be important element-wise, and honestly, I imagine a lot of people won't be using Year 1 weapons after the first few weeks go by anyway, because you'll probably find something new or similar that you like. I would say, if anything, just make sure you have all your bases covered, whether that means spreading the elemental love accordingly or getting duplicates of all of your favorite weapons. If you're looking to replace your elemental automatic shotgun, you're going to want to grab a Zenith of your kind from Eater of Worlds while you can. Moving on to investment. The investment team has goals for Year 2, 5 of them specifically, and they are: 1. Bring people back to the days where you're impressed when you see a max level power player. Number 2, the experience of leveling and powering up should be meaningful. Number 3, players should have a sense of discovery when earning rewards from different activities. Number 4, when accomplishing something difficult, rewards should be unique. Yup. And number 5, not all the sources of power in a week should be apparent on the director menu. In Forsaken, Bungie is scaling the power production of all content by the difficulty of said content. So if, for example, you beat the raid while massively underleveled, your rewards won't just be a few light above what you currently have on, but scaled up based on the difficulty, I assume the power level difficulty, of that activity. When players earn powerful rewards, they shouldn't scale down so much that they don't give an increase. So even if you're really high above an activity level, you should still get at least a 1 power upgrade. Exotics will now drop at or above your power level in Forsaken. There are now more activities refreshing on different cadences, but we'll learn the best ways to level up when Forsaken actually drops. Thoughts on this? I like what I'm hearing from this for the most part. Variety is good. I like items that scale based on difficulty of content instead of scaling to you, although both systems definitely have their merits. I like knowing that I can go into X activity and I'm going to get power level Y item. Although the problem with the content dictating the level of the drops is that once you have that full gear set, anything below that is generally not going to be worth it. Although again, Bungie said that even if you outclass an activity dramatically, you should still get some form of an upgrade. In MMOs, it's okay for gear drops to be set at a specific level because it usually takes a lot of time to gear up, whereas in Destiny, it's significantly faster, which is part of a problem Destiny's had for quite a long time. The bullet points for investment all seem good to me, especially number 4. You know, nothing says unique like getting a sparrow with a different stencil pattern on it. Nothing says unique like doing Spire of Stars and getting basically the same armor from Eater of Worlds, right? Next up, milestones. Milestones are getting shifted a little bit in the UI, and I'm going to be showing a picture of the new director in just a few seconds in case you want to shield your eyes from that. No longer are you going to have this massive list on the side of your screen, but rather those different milestones will be placed in the destination locations. So your call to arms will be there in the director when you hover over quick play, stuff like that. You will still get powerful rewards from them. World quests for destinations will be in your Pursuits tab. Thoughts on that? Yeah, all seems fine to me. Cleans up the UI a little bit, makes the director feel like less of a checklist. Oh, and if you're wondering where the Leviathan happened to go, it's in the Nessus sub-menu now, which, again, that is fine with me since it won't be the main raid. It doesn't need to be taking up space on the main director's screen. Next up, we have activities. The base strike playlist has been updated, featuring difficulties and modifiers. Heroic strikes will be retired on August 28th. If you have Forsaken, you'll get a 300, 400, and 500 power level playlist. When you're 40 power above a playlist, that playlist won't show up anymore, except for the 500 power playlist, which will always be there. I assume the 500 power playlist is basically the new Heroic Strike playlist, since that's the highest level. Strikes will have modifiers. If you don't own Forsaken, your Strike playlist will be 200 power, but you will still have modifiers. From the 28th to the 4th, modifiers will not be available in the Strike playlist, so that's the week before Forsaken launches. Prestige Nightfall is being retired, but the base difficulty for Nightfall is going up. Also, you'll now have 3 strikes to choose from for the Nightfall instead of just 1. This makes getting those Nightfall unique rewards a little bit easier to get. But you can only play strikes if you own the expansion that they are in. But if you're playing Forsaken, you need all of the expansions anyway to play it, so that shouldn't be a huge deal. Scoring will not be available for Legacy players, that's non-Forsaken players, in the 270 Nightfall, but you'll still be able to have modifiers. Meditations are being retired, replaced with the Heroic Story playlist, which will be 500 power for the new missions, and for old missions, will have a difficulty relative to their release, so that Legacy players can still use the story playlist. As a result, Ikora's research tokens will no longer be used as a currency after the 28th, and will be removed from the game and player inventories. The legendary parade gear will also no longer be available, so if you want that gear, you better go get it before the 28th. Heroic adventures are coming to all destinations. When a destination is the flashpoint, one adventure will be the heroic per day, except for Mercury and Mars. Those will just get an additional adventure. Remember that flashpoints now reset every 4 days instead of every week. You will not be able to purchase normal adventure tokens from vendors anymore, again, except for Mercury and Mars. And what that actually means is that you won't be able to go to a vendor and buy the blue adventure thing from them again. I don't know if this means you won't be able to replay a normal adventure only when it's on Heroic, like when it's the flashpoint and stuff like that. Activity modifiers will be shared across Heroic Adventures, Heroic Story Missions, and Strikes. It'll still be 1 weekly Singe, 1 daily buff, and 1 daily debuff. Brawler and Grenadier are having their recharge times adjusted to actually feel noticeable. That's good. Thoughts on activities? Mostly fine again. It sounds like things are just being streamlined or renamed and will still serve a pretty similar purpose as their predecessor. Heroic Strikes, now it's 500 power strikes. Meditations, now they're Heroic Story missions. Adventures seem like they're getting tweaked so that they play a bit more of a role in the week-to-week life of players, which I guess is fine. I'm sad to see the Prestige Nightfall go away, but with the challenge scoring card, which I assume isn't going away, hopefully it doesn't, Prestige Nightfall doesn't technically need to exist, especially with them bringing up the power of the baseline Nightfall. Prestige Nightfall was all over the place in year 1 anyway, and is currently just a 360 version of the Nightfall that you can modify. So if we can modify the regular Nightfall in Forsaken for score runs and all that kind of stuff, then I think that's fine. Next, economy updates. This is a big one. First, destination materials, the stuff that you pick up off the ground, will be the main source of reputation per destination. They will also be a part of the cost of infusion. Hang on, breathe, wait. Year 1 challenges that gave tokens are being retired, replaced by bounties that will give destination materials. Breathe. We're fine. You're fine. We're all fine. They'll also come from chests, patrols, adventures, etc. Basically, like how tokens are earned now. You can still redeem tokens and rare materials, they just won't be rewarded in Forsaken anymore. And anything that previously gave tokens or rare materials will reward common materials going forward. The gunsmith in year 1 required 40 parts for a package. In year 2, that's going up to 100. 100 parts for one package. Iron Banner, Vanguard, and Crucible tokens earned in Season 3, may be redeemed in Season 4, which I am taking as you can save those tokens for Season 4, for Forsaken. Trials of the Nine will be on hiatus during Season 4, and Bungie has not determined if its currency will be used when it comes back. Let's expand on that real quick. Iron Banner Season 4 will have power enabled again, but all players of Destiny 2 can participate in Iron Banner. Year 2 rewards will also be available to all players. However, Iron Banner rewards will be capped for legacy players at their maximum power available. Trials of the Nine will be unavailable for Season 4, as it is going back to the drawing board. When it comes back, it'll have updated rewards, power advantage enabled, and other gameplay changes. The final Season 3 trials will be the weekend of the 24th. Thoughts on economy updates, trials, Iron Banner, all that. Again, I'm fine. People have expressed their extreme disdain for tokens, and now Bungie is phasing half of them out, more than half of them out, in favor for something else. They basically turned tokens into planetary materials, and now you need materials for infusion. This is probably for a couple of reasons, I'm guessing. Number 1, to encourage people to more carefully pick what they infuse instead of just tearing through their legendary shards and their gear like it's nothing. And 2, to maybe encourage people to start shedding their year 1 items in favor of year 2 items, at least while they're leveling up. I'm a huge proponent of completely shedding year 1 items for new stuff, so I personally like this. I understand if other people don't, though, because by increasing the cost of infusion, you essentially just make it harder to level up. I also understand if people are nervous about planetary materials in general now. I'm sure a lot of you are having flashbacks to your exotic swords and the hours of relic iron farming you had to do. It doesn't sound like this is going to be on that level, although it depends on how many materials you're going to need per infusion. Gunsmith going to 100 materials per package is interesting. A lot of people, a lot of veteran players probably have a large stockpile of materials, so if you keep it at 40, those people can just spam the hell out of the gunsmith. But if you get rid of everyone's materials to get everybody back on the same playing field, or maybe so you can keep it at 40, then obviously those people are going to get mad. Increasing it to 100 ensures that people with huge stockpiles can't just package their way to max power, but that kind of shafts people without a big stockpile a little bit. Yes, that's kind of a tough call there. I don't think there's a right answer for the gunsmith going up to 100. I think it's just their choice. Iron Banner has power enabled, but anyone can play it. So you could be 550 power and could potentially fight against level 350 power players. I assume the scaling will be like Destiny 1's scaling, where you need to be significantly lower than other players before you start feeling the effects of being lower level. Bungie is just not going to have people at 350 getting one-shotted by people at 600. That's just not going to happen. So my guess is that unless Legacy players have their own matchmaking separate from Forsaken players, power being enabled isn't gonna really matter that much, if at all. If they do have their own matchmaking separate from Forsaken players, then maybe it'll matter a little bit. But given how it worked out in Destiny 1, I'm skeptical. I don't think this is going to be as big of a deal as people are imagining that it will be. Trials being gone is both a big and small blow to Destiny 2. It's obvious that something needed to be done to make Trials more exciting, but I was surprised to see it just completely shut down for an entire season. I can't imagine population numbers were very high for Trials in the first place, so this isn't going to affect a ton of people, but it will affect some for sure, and I can totally understand if you are bummed about Trials being gone. Next up, we have faction rallies. In short, faction rallies are also taking a break for Season 4, and therefore tokens will not be redeemable during that time. Hopefully Bungie is making faction rally a little less Lost Sector rally and a little more do more than Lost Sector rally. The faction exotic catalysts will be earnable in new ways, but not at the start of Season 4. More information will come regarding those eventually. I don't have a lot to say on that. Faction Rally was pretty exhausting in Season 3. I hope they make it more interesting. Finally, we have everybody's favorite, the Eververse. The goals for the Eververse going into the future are provide players with more data, give players more choice to earn rewards how they want, more bright dust earned from new bounties, and allow players new ways to customize, like ghost projections, legendary weapon skins, and new exotic ornaments and emotes. Players will now get to see bright engram reward probabilities on Bungie.net along with their purchase history. Tests will start to offer bounties that reward bright dust. So here's how that works. Every bright engram will give a bounty note in Season 4. Bounties refresh weekly, but you can get as many Eververse bounties as you have notes. Exchange notes for 3 different tiers of bounties. So Tier 1 costs 1 note, and it rewards 20 dust. A Tier 2 bounty costs 3 notes, rewarding 70 dust, and a Tier 3 bounty costs 6 notes, rewarding 150 dust. Those bounties expire after 7 days, and you can carry one of each type at a time. The Prismatic Matrix is coming back, where you had a predetermined selection of items that you could use a prismatic facet on in order to get something that you didn't already have. The facet will be earned from a special Tier 1 Eververse bounty, but this bounty won't require a note, only 250 glimmer. Bright dust gained from dismantling Eververse items will be granted at a fixed rate, so you can now reliably dismantle items for specific gains. Eververse items will be retrieved from your collections tab like everything else, with the exception of Year 2 Eververse armor, which, like all other armor with random rolls, can't be retrieved from collections. All other items can be retrieved with some bright dust. Current season Eververse items that haven't been earned will be displayed in your collections, but as soon as the season is over, they will not be displayed if you didn't earn them, in order to prevent players from having an incomplete collection that can't ever be completed, so that you won't be tortured by a gray box that you'll never be able to illuminate because the season's over. Legendary weapon ornaments and ghost projections have been added to the game. Legendary weapon ornaments are account-wide, and ghost projections put a badge above your ghost when in navigation mode. Weapon and armor mods will no longer drop from bright engrams. Eververse armor earned from bright engrams will have random rolls. Eververse armor from the store that is bought with bright dust or from the prismatic matrix will have fixed rolls. I don't know if they will have fixed rolls forever or just the week that they're being sold. Bright engrams will not be earned from leveling until you are at the level cap, so no, you are not getting free 20 bright engrams while leveling in Forsaken, but you will start to earn them again after you hit the level cap. Next, unrelated to Eververse, even though I'm pretty sure I saw someone on Twitter say that there wouldn't be any more double or triple Valor XP weekends, guess what? Now there are. From the 10th to the 17th, it's double Valor. From the 17th to the 21st, it's triple Valor. And from the 24th to the 28th, we go back to double Valor. So if you're looking for that Masterwork Solstice armor, there you go. That's how you get Legend Valor this season. You go play during those times. Thoughts on Eververse? Yeah, that looks fine to me. I have yet to spend a dime on silver on anything Eververse in Destiny 2, and I think I've been able to get the overwhelming majority of items in Season 2 and 3. Emotes, ornaments, armor sets, you name it. Ships, sparrows. Putting in more ways for active players to earn their ways to cool skins and rewards, even if it is as simple as spending bright dust, is better than making it not accessible by playing at all. I got no problem if you want to go buy some stuff, but it should be earnable by playing too, which it has been and looks like will continue to be. We enter the pay-to-win discussion of Eververse armor having random rolls, but we've been in this position before with the Taken armor set from Destiny 1. Despite random rolls being able to be purchased for real money, it didn't really end up mattering in the slightest with regards to any sort of pay-to-win scenario. People were very worried when this was originally announced in Destiny 1. I was too. But after a little while, people realized it didn't really matter. It was not a big deal at all. I anticipate the exact same thing to happen here if there are indeed any worries about pay-to-win situations with random rolls. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. If it does end up being a big deal, you will hear from me. As a whole, I don't think anything here is god-awful, horrific, bad. I think it's all pretty neutral or positive stuff. I imagine some people will have issues with one or two things here and there, but as a whole, I think this is all pretty good. Pretty fine. It's good. It's neat. I don't have any major gripes with that. As for what you should actually start doing to prepare for Forsaken, at this point, I would stock up on Vanguard and Crucible tokens whenever you're getting them. Start picking up planetary materials when you're just roaming around. Hang on to your gunsmith parts. I guess hang on to mods until they're safe to dismantle. Start picking which weapons you're going to put Arc, Solar, and Void elements into. Clean up your vault a little bit. Start collecting armor sets from destinations so that they can be collected in your collections tab if you're into that kind of thing. I don't think you need to splurge your current destination tokens right now. I think you can kind of hang on to them for safety, but they probably won't matter. Callus tokens have an unknown fate at the moment, but they aren't going to be good for anything other than Leviathan armor, I would assume, so who cares? Right now, it's all about making sure you've collected everything you want to collect, finish up any last remnants of anything you feel like getting done, do your Solstice armor, do your Triumphs, collect any remaining exotics, and just give yourself a break if you've been grinding hard, because Forsaken will hopefully be Destiny 2's Taken King, and if it is, you're probably going to be on a lot in September. We're done! Holy cow, that was really long. That is your weekly update, breakdown, and thoughts. All pretty important information, but again, you can just read it all yourself in the description if you need to revisit anything. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.